Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be speaking more towards anyone who's in their first year of university or who is about to go into university, because I'm going to be explaining what spring weeks are and why you should apply for them if you are in first year and you're interested in securing any internship experience or graduate roles post-university. Before I begin, I'll give some background about me for those of you who are new here. My name is Gavra and this channel is dedicated to all things careers and education. I am a recent UCL chemical engineering graduate. I have done several investment banking internships at firms such as JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. I'll be starting my career as a management consultant in one of the top 3 management consulting firms. You can check on my LinkedIn or my other videos to know where I work, because I'm not going to say it in this video. And finally, I'm also a future Harvard MBA graduate because I was selected for the Harvard 2+2 program, which basically gives me the option to study at Harvard in the next 2 to 4 years for my MBA. And the reason I started this channel is because I wanted to help bring people along on my journey and give some of the tips that I've learned by trial and error along the way to hopefully help you guys get it right the first time. So if you want to help me on this mission, then please do subscribe. Please do share my videos with your friends, and yeah, let's just continue to grow this channel and this community together. Before I begin with, why you should do a spring week and how to be successful in spring week applications, I should probably explain what a spring week is. A spring week is basically a week long, sometimes a couple of days long, sometimes 2 weeks long insight program that you do in your first year of university in the spring, so obviously. And around March, that's April, Easter time, you do these programs, and a lot of them actually give you the option to convert them into a summer internship, which you can then convert into a full-time job before you've even finished your degree. A lot of the big firms do these. So you have the big 4 who do their own version, which I think are a couple of days. You have the investment banks who really heavily recruit for spring weeks. Those are like week-long insights, with the exception of Goldman Sachs, which I believe is 2 weeks long and paid. The others are not paid, just to clarify. But then also you have law firms who do things called like vacation schemes, which are very similar concept to spring weeks in finance and investment banking. And they're not finally, but this is just some of the selection. You also have like BP and Shell and all of these like engineering firms who do their own mini spring insights for students who are interested in pursuing a career in their firm. And I'll actually link in the description box a link that I found amazing with a list of all of the firms that do spring insights and their deadlines, which might be useful for you guys if you are thinking of applying. So do check out that link in my description. But yes, so that's what a spring week is. And as you can gather, and as I kind of alluded to, the benefit of doing a spring week is, first of all, it helps you decide if this is something you want to do without wasting your whole summer doing an internship somewhere that you end up not wanting to work for. Number 2, if you find out that you do actually really like it, you have the option to convert that into a full-time summer job, which first of all gets you money, and second of all could get you a grad job before you've even finished university. And for some careers such as investment banking, you pretty much can't work in that industry if you haven't got a summer internship, which is not to say that you need a spring to do the summer internship. I'll explain my journey in a second. But yeah, you don't have to have a spring to get a summer, but you do pretty much need the summer to get the grad job. So doing the spring week just gives you a leg up in those summer applications. And in some cases, you can even secure a summer offer before your spring week has even finished. So it's something that definitely is not a waste of your time. Obviously, for some people, it is quite close to exam season, so they might find that difficult. But I honestly believe that it is worth it because it saves you so much time later down the line in recruitment. So in terms of me and whether or not I did spring week, so I was fortunate enough to be on a 4-year course. Well, I picked that, so I'm not necessarily fortunate enough. But anyway, because I was on a 4-year engineering course, in my first year of university, I found out about spring weeks, but I didn't really know much about what the benefit was of them. I didn't know how to apply for them in effective ways. So I didn't do any spring weeks in investment banks, but I did do a spring week in the FCA. Was actually given the opportunity to convert that to a summer internship, but I didn't take the opportunity because I knew I didn't want to work in regulation. So in my second year of university, I tried again because technically I was that was the year I should have been applying for spring weeks, because you do it first year of a 3-year course or your second year of a 4-year course. So my second year of my 4-year course, I applied for some spring weeks and I got one at JP Morgan on their finance for non-finance program, which at the time was the first year that they decided to scrap the conversion to summer internship. But it was still great for me to get to understand different roles within the front office, to network with employees within the firm, and definitely helped me to eventually secure my summer internship offer from JP Morgan in investment banking the following year, my 3rd year of university. So all that to say that they are very useful programs to apply for. And if you know that you want to work in finance, you know you want to work in investment banking, you know you want to work in law, you know where you want to work, then even if you don't know where you want to work, still apply, because this gives you the opportunity to explore and potentially secure further employment opportunities. So now I'm going to move on to what you can do to be successful in your applications. I think I have 4 main points that really helped me on my journey, and that's been tried and tested with people that I've helped in the past and friends and colleagues who have been successful. I would say that the biggest and most important thing is to make sure that you have researched the firm in detail. If you can copy and paste your application from one firm to the next and only change the name of the firm, it is not a good application. You need to make sure that you've done very detailed research into that specific firm. So that's using their website, that's from attending insight events. They will have like one-off events in the autumn term that you can apply for, and you can name drop in your applications and that shows your proactiveness, that you took the time out of your studies to attend a JP Morgan insight event or a BP insight event, which will put you way ahead of a lot of other first year students who don't take this initiative. Because I find it quite crazy how you've just come to university, you've just finished your A-levels, and people are expecting you to just hit the ground running with applications already. I know it might seem quite, daunting and like, oh my gosh, it's so much at once. But honestly, you can do it. You just have to be really focused and utilize the tips that I'm giving. Back to the tips, I got distracted. And so like I said, tip 1, make sure you're researching your firms in detail, and you're conducting your research by going to networking events, going to insight days that you can name drop in your application, which will make you stand out so much more than everyone else. My second tip is to ensure that your commercial awareness is up to scratch. Obviously, you're in your first year of university. No one's expecting you to come in with a whole a detailed idea of what the division does, how to make money, how you're going to come in and hit the ground running making money. No one's expecting that. But obviously, if you're applying for something, they want to see that you have some sort of commercial awareness about the industry that you're applying for. So for example, if you're applying for a banking related insights, you need to have some kind of idea of what's going on in the markets, any of the big headline news stories that are really moving markets and affecting businesses and corporates. If you want to work in BP or one of the big energy companies, you need to have an idea of what the global energy crisis is at the moment, and how the firms have been doing what they need to do to shift towards more green or renewable energy. Do you see what I mean? So it's just about demonstrating that you are well read. If you want tips on how you can improve your commercial awareness, comment this down below and I'll try and get a video out specifically on this. But general news outlets like Sky News, BBC News, also you've got Finamize, which I've heard is amazing. You have the Financial Times, the good old Financial Times, which is a subscription-based resource, but a lot of universities actually have free Financial Times access through your uni login. So I used to use the UCL one. I never paid for Financial Times. I still use my UCL one. It hasn't expired for some reason, so I still use it. But yeah, that's a great way for you to keep up to date with what's going on in the world and in the space, the industry that you're particularly interested in applying for an insight for. My third tip is, if you are watching this before university, this is amazing, because make sure that when you get to university, I know a lot of changes are happening. You've just moved out of home potentially, you're getting used to a new course, you're trying to make new friends, you're trying to grow into an adult. Yes, I understand that these things can take a lot of your time, but don't make the mistake of neglecting your careers if it's something that you know you really want to pursue. Particularly, I keep emphasizing it because this is my background. If you want to work in finance or investment banking, you need to have some good extracurriculars on your CV outside of what everyone else is doing, which is studying for their degree. So if you can apply for first year representative positions, if you can take on some kind of mini leadership roles within some societies that you are a part of, this is all great stuff to add in your CV and to having your application to, again, make you stand out from other first years. And the great thing about first year is because everybody is new, it's actually technically a lot easier to stand out because most people haven't done much. When you get to second year, that's when everyone starts to realize, oh, like I probably should get some more stuff on my CV. But in first year, most people are distracted with the new transition into university. So this is a prime opportunity for you guys who are watching this to get some extra things on your CV that other people might not have taken initiative to do. And finally, once you've got your networking down and your research down for your firm, once you have got your commercial awareness up, and once you have got some extracurricular stuff on your CV that's going to make you stand out, you need to make sure that the actual CV is good. And I have a video on this where I explain how to format your CV. I know it even has a template that you can download to use, particularly for investment banking CVs. But I have a video where I explain all of the tips and common mistakes that people tend to make in their CVs that you guys shouldn't be making. But it's so important that your CV is correctly formatted, it has the correct information in it, because at the bare minimum, it shows your attention to detail, and at the maximum, it helps you stand out from the rest of the CVs on the pile when your CV is to a really high standard. And if you would like me to review your CV one-on-one, then feel free to check out my website, which I'll link in the description box, where I offer one-on-one consultations for CVs, cover letters, everything you could think of for applications. If you feel like you really want that one-on-one personalized discussion about your CV specifically, then please feel free to book my services there. So yes guys, that's everything to do with spring weeks. I hope you have found this video useful. If you know someone who is going into university and is thinking about, you know, careers and what they want to do after university, then please send them this video, because it's something that I wish I had known before university so that I could have hit the ground running when I got there. Fortunately, I was on a 4-year course, so I had that whole year to just understand and get used to stuff. But a lot of people don't have that luxury. So the earlier we can get this information out there, the better. So yes, I'm going to end this video here. And like I always say, like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.